Some of you guys might recognize this game as Leave It, but now that I've thought about it, I really don't call it Leave It anymore, and I'll tell you the reason at the end of this video. But before I get into teaching you how to do this, I want to make sure that you've also watched the first few videos in this series, because this game will go a lot more smooth if you teach these first layers before coming to this. And also, I want to make sure that you're subscribing and hitting the bell so that you can hear when these new videos come out. Anyways, let's get to it. You're going to want to get a decent pile of treats ready for this game. Start by sitting down right next to your dog, grabbing a tasty handful of treats in the palm of your hand, and then laying it down on your leg so that it's kind of anchored there. The reason we do this is because most likely your dog's going to go for the treats and you don't want your hand jerking about, because this makes it so your dog's chasing instinct is turned on, which makes it harder for them to learn. Anyways, if your dog goes for the treats in your hand, just calmly close it up and then wait until he settles down and backs up a little bit from your hand. Then you can open it up. If he then waits patiently where he was, then you can pick up a treat and then take a breath, say cookie, and then deliver it to his mouth. If at any point in this process he goes for the treat, just calmly put it back in your hand, close it up, wait a few seconds until he's calm, and then start again. Once your dog understands what you want, you can move to your hand being on the ground and opening it up. Practice the same steps here as you did before. Cookie. Now it's time to move to the next step once your dog can consistently do it in your hand on the ground. Now, notice that most dogs won't do all this in one session. In fact, it's quite normal if they don't. So, go at your dog's own pace. The only reason that you see me going through all of these steps is because I'm creating a video for you. I went through the same steps with my dog slower. So go at your dog's own pace. That's the most important part, not trying to get it all done in one session, because even after your dog goes through all these steps, there's still time that he needs to understand, and you have to still practice even if he finishes all the steps in different places and all that, so he generalizes it. The next challenge for your dog is to place it directly on the ground. Now, before you do this like most people would say, hear me out, because I do it a little bit different. Most people would say set them on the ground and then completely cover the treats if your dog goes for them. And that's fine, but we want to give our dogs a little bit more choice in their life. And so to do that, instead of completely covering it, I want you to make like a tent shape with your hand so that your dog can still see the treats, but he cannot easily get to them. For most dogs, this will make them realize, like, oh, I'm not supposed to have those. Right, that's what we're doing. And then move on from there. Cookie. But if he is very persistent about getting those treats, then cover it up with your hand until he backs off, and then take that as a cue that you may have moved a little too fast and you need to go backwards a step. That is basically all of the steps to training this game, but you also need to practice it more, like I said. But now I want to go in and dig a little deeper into this game and why we teach it. Remember how I said that I don't call it Leave It anymore, and the reason is because I feel like if you give this game a cue, which if you notice I didn't, then it makes it so your dog waits for you to say, like, leave it, leave it, leave it. We train our dogs using positive reinforcement. At least I do. When training your dog with positive reinforcement, what you're doing is giving them choices in life. If you properly train using positive reinforcement, you're making the wrong choice so hard for your dog to accomplish, and really easy for them to accomplish the correct behavior. And so their whole training is based off of choices. If you don't put a cue to this, This will be the foundation of them realizing that they have choices. And eventually, if you train correctly and work really hard with your dog, they'll be able to make choices in tougher situations that are the correct ones, which is what you want. And so as you see, it's your choice is one of the foundational behaviors to positive reinforcement dog training. And notice that I didn't add a cue to it. This is because our dogs' lives are full of choices and we want them to make the right ones on their own. Because sometimes we're not going to be there, guys. They're going to be on their own. So we want them to be able to make good choices on their own. And yes, that is 100% possible. So basically, we want our dogs to learn that the choice is theirs, but the right ones are really reinforcing and the wrong ones are not so much. The games I am teaching you are really simple and easy, but you need to put in practice and effort if you want to see results. Thank you for watching this video. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and I will hopefully see you in the next video.